Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and I'm super excited about this video. I feel like the last couple videos I haven't got to sit and chat with you guys, and so I have a ton of stuff. So get out your crochet or your knitting, get a snack and a drink. This might be a long video, but I have so much stuff to tell you guys. I'm just going to start pulling. I've got it all piled up here and there. Okay. So the first thing is I got my order from Red Heart. There's one thing that I'm hiding in here that I'm not going to show y'all yet. I'm saving that for later. But the first thing I am going to show you is I want to make the sweater that Debbie, the Canadian crocheter, made with, and she made it with like a goldenrod or mustard colored Red Heart chunky yarn. So I went to my Walmart to get some and they didn't have any. So then I went to Joann's and they didn't have any. My Hobby Lobby sometimes carries a few Red Heart, but no chunky. So I went to the website and ordered this color. And I'm so excited. This is going to be like a first full-blown sweater. I looked at the yardage, and of course I think I'm going to have to make the largest size. So I ordered six of these. I'm hoping that's enough because my math calculations, if I did it wrong, I only have 6. And like it took a Red Heart a long time to mail me this stuff, like a couple weeks. I guess I'm used to Amazon being able to like get me stuff in 2 days. So I was like, Red Heart. So I ordered 6 of these. These are 3 because they come 3 in a bag. The other thing that I was going to show you all, wherever I put that order sheet, I ordered these little, well, I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect them to be little. I thought, this is called Red Heart Croquette? I don't know. I'm not sure. And when I looked on it on the website, I thought this was much bigger because it listed it with the number of yards being like 500 something. And so this is what I got. 2 of these little tiny cakes. Look at that. I was like, man, I was thinking because it listed the yards, I was thinking I was going to get one bigger cake of this. I did not expect to get 2. So this is an extra fine. Do you see that, folks? Look at that. Sparkly cotton. Here's the word. Red Heart Croquet. I think croquet is that game with the little mallets and the balls, isn't it? My first thought was, yuck. I don't like it. Then I saw this picture on the side, and I thought, do you see how little that is? That doesn't look bad. Maybe I'll try making that. And then, as y'all remember from Flash My Stash, ooh, I got a little crazy mess going on right back here. My sister has been making rosaries with cotton threads, and her birthday is in March. So I thought, well, maybe I'll be a kind sister, and I'll package this up and send it to her for her birthday. And then I got selfish again because Debbie, the Canadian crocheter, made the Virginia shawl with a really skinny thread. She was going, it's a 4-strand cotton thread, and she was using a 3.5 hook. So I thought, ooh, maybe I'll make that with this. So I'll let you know if I decide to be greedy and keep it for myself or if I send it to my sister for her birthday. So that is the first thing I was going to share for you. Of course, like I said, 3 more of these. Hopefully that's enough yarn to make a big sweater. So that's my first thing. My yarn, Red Heart yarn came. And I think it took like a week to 10 days to come here. You expect that from Ice. I didn't expect that from Red Heart. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you guys, which if you watched my live or you follow me on Instagram, you saw, I've decided completely what I'm going to be doing with my bonbons from Jimmy Bean. I have scrapped the poof. If you watch, oh golly, Cozy Crochet Corner, Rachel, she's making the poof. So let's all keep an eye on her. See, she's got 1 more month of bonbons before we'll see what the poof looks like. But because I did not want to do the poof, I decided to make well, first I decided I was going to do the lemonade scarf, but I wasn't going to buy the pattern. I was going to make my own scarf pattern. And then when I was like 5 or 6 bonbons in, I was like, what am I going to do with a really long multicolored scarf? I'm making all these pretty shawls and neck wraps. I'm like, eh. So I frogged it and I started making these. This I found, and I'll put a link in the description to the tutorial. It's called a Willow Granny, Easy Willow Granny. And I just started grabbing the colors and making these because I felt like if I spent too much time trying to match them, I was gonna go nuts. These are the stone washed bonbons. I really like that one. And I love that one. This one, I don't know if you guys would be able to notice. Nope, it's not this one. I'll show you another one. These are all the ones that I've made. Isn't that one beautiful? And then looks like I got the reverse there. I mean, if I pulled something off that was hideous, I put it back in and took out another. But they all pretty well go together. I don't think there's a square here that upset me. So these so far are all the ones that I was able to make with 2 bonbons. Then the bonbons started, 2 bonbons will make a cake, but you'll have leftover yarn. So then I started combining them to make multicolored ones. So here's this one. This has a purplish, a light teal, and a blue. Oh, this one's not even done. I ran out of bonbons. And it really upset me when it would run out in this way. So then I'm going to frog all this brown out, and I'm going to wait till I get my 3rd batch of Jimmy Bean bonbons to finish this off. And then this one I ended up making with 4. And this one actually, right here, I don't know if you can tell, I ran out of the purplish and I had to use a bit of brown, but you can't really tell too much. And then I went to the black. So I have a few of these like complete multicolored ones. I have one started. I have a little bit of blue and white left. I have this one that's kind of a disaster. And then I have the little tiny scraps. Now, I suppose I could have saved them and like put them in for stuffing but as I said in that other video when I talk about scraps, I try to use every bit of yarn I have. So then I started making these, and this is almost ugly. It's beautiful, I think. Multicolored. Oh, so like I would start with one and then I'd change to the other and I just kept going. Every little bit. Do you see all the different colors in there? So I have one of these. Look at all those ends though. And then I have one of these. So what I decided I'm going to do is all of these perfect 2-toned ones I'm going to put into a blanket, a lapgan or blanket, however many, because I am going to get another Jimmy Bean, the 3rd one. Then all these partials, I'm going to see how many of these I get. Maybe I'll make a pillow, maybe I'll make them in some kind of like shawl or scarf. And these are going to just be the complete crazy ones. Look at that one. I mean, I kind of like it, but hate it all at the same. And I'm thinking that I'm going to put like these multicolored ones in with these. I'm just mixing the multicolored ones. So that's what I'm doing with the stone washed, pardon me, the stone washed bonbons from Jimmy Bean. And I'm keeping them in my ice bag. These, in this little baggie, these are the river washed. And what's the difference, my friend? These ones, it's almost like fuzzy. The other color is kind of like fuzzed in there. Whereas these ones are clearly like, it's like a white mixed in with the solid color. So I'm trying to decide, do I use these to make more squares and mix my river and stone washed? Or do I think of a separate project to do with these bonbons? So I decided I'm going to wait until I get my 3rd Jimmy bag. When I get my 3rd bag of Jimmys, I'll see how many of these I get. I think that when you get your pack of multicolored bonbons, I think you get 2/3 stone washed to 1/3 river. I think that's how they do it. And so I'm going to get a significant amount more of the stone washed, and I will have a pretty sizable blanket, and then you know, then I'll have that little scrap pillow or scarf or something. So then I think I'm going to try to come up with a separate project for these river washed ones. But yeah, I'm really happy. I'm very excited. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description to the easy tutorial I found on how to do those flowers. I started those the night I did my live, which was last week, Friday. And it was just that weekend, all I was doing was making bonbons. Up until Monday night. And then I ran out of those bonbons and I moved on to a new project. I made one of these. Now I want to make a bunch of them, but I've only made one. Look at that, it's a little bunny. Now the pattern would like you to take a little embroidery and put like a little cutie mark there. But here's a little bunny, and then there's its little cottontail, which is crooked, because when I do amigurumi, it's never straight. I'll put a link in the description to this pattern. It's called a Mochi Bunny, or, you know, amigurumi pattern. It's free. I don't know where I got it from, quite frankly. Maybe I typed in amigurumi bunny on Ravelry. It takes a very small amount of yarn, and this only took me 45 minutes to make. I did change the ears though. I did not care for these ears. It was too hard for me to make. Do you see how they kind of want you to do like a magic ring and do like 6 stitches in it and then 12 and then a couple more 12 and then close it off. And I just don't like doing all that tiny little crochet in there. So basically I chained up 7 and then I crocheted around, and then I did 3 at the top, and then I came back down and then I sewed it on, which gives the ears kind of that like little floppy look. And then I think you can bend them. And then I just sewed them to the top of the head, crooked. So this little bunny's cute. I just made one of them. I'm debating on making one for all of my nieces and nephews and mailing them out for Easter. Because I have 4 nieces and 2 nephews. So I was thinking about that, but I just made one of it for cute. Just kind of getting an eye, to be honest. What I was doing is I'm trying to find cute bunny patterns to share with you because Easter's coming up. And so that was the next thing I worked on. My cute little Mochi Bunny. Then I'm using my random Randy's ramblings. Y'all know who I mean. I'm using the Christmas bag because I love it so much. I'm making my knit crate. I'm doing the pattern for the knit crate. Now, I like the yarn. I'm not really 100% a fan of alpaca yarn. I have that alpaca hat that I made. That was a pattern from Bag O' Day a bit ago. But I just am not a fan. I feel like it has a little bit of itch. I don't know if I'm doing the pattern right because the first time, okay, the pattern is easy to read in the way that the abbreviations and the wording and the stitching is all easy. But the way it's laid out in the book is difficult because rather than repeating row by row by row, and this is going to sound sassy, because they use so many pages in this book for their other patterns, they abbreviated the crochet pattern. So it's not all on one page. So this is what they do. Up here at the top, they tell you what they want you to do for row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, row 7. And it's all of various amounts of single crochets, double crochets, a popcorn stitch, and then like a mesh stitch. Double crochet, skip 1 chain, double crochet, skip 1 chain. And they have you rotating those. Then at the bottom, what they do is they tell you what they want you to do. For row 10, they want you to do row 5. For row 10, or for row 11, they want you to do row 6. For row 12, they want you to do row blah, blah, blah. And they tell you you're skipping around between all these rows, which on this page, perfect, just fine. But then when you get to the next page, it's more of that where they want you to go and do the other row. So you do a row, you flip the book. Then you do a row and you flip the book. And you're just going back and forth. So then I took a picture of it so that I would have it on my phone so I could just have it next to each other. But then, of course, by the time you're done with the row, your phone is turned off. You got to push the button again. And it was just getting tedious. So then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to look at the pattern in the scarf and I'm going to follow it because I noticed it was making a pattern. So you do a bunch of rows of double crochet, then you do a mash, double crochet, mash, double crochets, popcorn, and I just started repeating this. Well, somehow my project, I felt, was growing. It was consistent right here, where it was only growing on one side. It was nice and small, and then it started growing on this side. But then all of a sudden, it started growing on the other side. So then I thought, maybe I'm messing it up. Maybe I need to follow that to know on which side you're growing, because it was kind of like going, Arr. And even though they say in this definition of this pattern, so not so basic shape, uneven sides create a skewed beauty of a shawl. I didn't like the skewed beauty I was creating. So I frogged it all the way down to where I liked where it was looking. And I made one side straight, as you see that. And on the other side is where I did the growing. Now, if that is not what this lady had intended, Bella Askew, I'm sorry, Bella. Belle, what's her name? Curry. But it just wasn't working. And this is the other thing I'm going to say about this pattern. I don't prefer to have patterns that have this right here. When you chain up and do your double crochet, normally you skip this stitch right here, because otherwise you're pretending that your chain 3 is the double crochet that goes in this stitch, right? And then you double crochet in all the stitches. If you add an extra stitch in there, it starts getting way too big. It messes up the stitch counts. So you have to, and that makes sense. But I just don't like the look of having these spaces on the sides. It's my personal preference. In fact, I have a sweater pattern that I always use. In fact, I also have a video about this. Because what I tend to do when I have a pattern that has you chain up 3 and then go into the next stitch over, I do a half in there. So I chain up 3, I yarn over, I go into this very first stitch, I pull through 2, then I go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and then pull through all 3. So that way I only have one stitch at the top, but then this little gap that's forming on the sides is filled in, because I don't like that gap. And you'll see, it's all along the top. Now you could kind of think it's part of the pattern, but that's what's kind of messing me up. So anyway, this is the knit crate. I like how the yarn works up. It's not snagging, it's not splitting. I will say there's little alpaca bits all over me when working it. This yarn is shedding, and that kind of bothers me. But I mean, I think that's what happens when you use alpaca for a wool, because I've had it 2 other times. I've used a yarn that had alpaca in it, and it shed. And I mean, it's pretty, it's expensive, I guess, it's soft, but I just don't like the shedding that the alpaca does. So anyway, I am probably 2/3 of the way done with my knit crate. This is how much I have left of my second hank. And I'm going to finish it up. And I think I'm going to give this to my sister for her birthday. For real, I'm giving it to her. I just have to decide, am I also going to give her those little cakes? And for this pattern, I'm using my tulip hook. I love these. Okay, so let's look at what I got going on over here. I'll put this back in here so I don't lose my hook. I'm sad to say that I have done very little work, if any, on my locale. Did I tell you guys what I'm doing for my locale? For those of you that don't know, Debbie, the Canadian Crocheter, and Karen, Happiness Homemade, are doing a partnership crochet along. and they're calling it local. So it's about your location. And I am making a cow because I am from Wisconsin. And Wisconsin is the dairy state. So right now, I have got the bottom, the bottom part of my cow's body. His little legs will hang down here, and I'm going up. I'm making the first one in brown, but dairy cows are mostly black and white. So I thought if I have time and if I'm not procrastinating like I have been, I hope to have 2 cows, buddies. Kind of like Debbie and Karen, but I'm not calling them cows. I'm saying they're buddies, and I'm making buddy cows. Okay, so I'm making a little herd of cows because of Wisconsin being the dairy state. So I need to try to work better on that. Usually when I do amigurumi, when I make these dolls, I just sit there, and God bless my kids, I just sit there on the counter all day, crochet. I'm in the kitchen when I do it, so if they need a snack or a drink, I'm right there, and then I get right back to what I'm doing. But I've been so busy lately that I haven't had that chance to just sit and crochet straight through. It's been carrying little project bags around with me, and I just can't carry the amigurumi around because you have to count your rows and your stitches, and it's just too much. But this weekend, I'm not going to have much time to do it again because on Saturday, we're going to the Wisconsin herd game. For those of you who don't know, Wisconsin has a D-string basketball game. The Bucks are our main basketball team, but then we have the herd, and they have a stadium and an arena here in Oshkosh, and it's really cool. I mean, they're really reasonable games. They're semi-professional. Sometimes they get bumped up to the Bucks, and sometimes they don't. I'm going to be honest, they're not a super winning team, but it's still fun to go. And our Boy Scouts are doing their flag ceremony. So I've got that going on Saturday. And I got to pick up Girl Scout cookies. And I got a birthday party for one of Flynn's friends. So I've just got all these things going on, and I just don't have time. So I'm hoping I can have a day where I can just sit and work on my locale, because I got to get that done. And the final thing is I was going to talk about the last day possible. I know, folks. Also, my sweater's in here in this little pamphlet. But the thing I'm going to talk about here is my February bingo. I technically got bingo right here. Use yarn from your stash to make my alpaca hat. Create a hat. I made a hat for my friend named Kelly. Create something for yourself. I covered those jars with yarn, and I put my knitting needles in it. Finish a whip. I finished a whip. What did I finish? Oh, these baskets. That's what it was. Frog a project you're not into anymore. Folks, I frogged 2 projects. I don't know if some of you remember. Laurel will remember. Way long time ago, there was the Skimming Stones shawl. I bought that pattern, and I just could not get it to work to save my life. And I put it in a Ziploc bag. I finally frogged it and put the yarn right back up there because I used a knit crate yarn. And then also, you guys, I frogged my knit crate cowl, the one with the blush yarn, the worsted weight blush from the Peruvian sheep. I frogged it. I decided I was feeling too much stress, and knitting does not relax me, and I needed more relaxing, and I really wasn't able to get my pattern to line up. Every time I'd have to frog 2 rows, and knitting is not as easy to frog as crochet. Even with those lifelines, you still have to get all those loops back on your needles. So I did, friends. So that was my bingo right down here. I don't know if you'll count this Llama Mama. I also, I didn't create a shawl. I'm making a shawl. I did my second year Genius shawl. Well, I mean, I could read some more of those, but technically my bingo is in this row. And then if you see here, I use little ladybugs and lips. Ladybugs and lips for my stickers. So that is Llama Mama's bingo. And you know what, folks? I love playing her bingo game. It was fun. And I also am going to try my best to remember to get into her next swap, because I'm wanting to do another yarn swap. The last one I did was for Gypsy Rose. And now I want to do another one. Well, folks, oh, the final thing. Oh, I hope a bunch of you waited this long because I'm 25 minutes into it. I got another giant yarn box in the mail. Look at this. Whoa. Okay, and you know what, friends? This yarn is not for me. This yarn in this box is overflowing with yarn for my 5,000 subscriber giveaway. Do you see it? It's going to be a beauty. So this is what I've got going on. Because this video is at 25 minutes, I got a little bit of alpaca in my mouth there. I'm not going to go through and pull everything out of this big box. I'm going to hold it like this so you guys can see. But this is going to be the giveaway. Cotton. I'm going to add to it. I'm going to run over to Hobby Lobby and grab some little dollops. So I'm going to grab a few little dollops, and if it turns out to be more expensive or cheaper, I might grab some of their cotton cakes. I don't know. But I'm going to throw in either 2 little dollops per giveaway or 1 cotton wheel. What do they call them? Sugar wheels, I think, or I don't know. But you guys know what I'm talking about. So there's going to be 3 giveaway prizes. 3 of them. They're going to be open worldwide. Yes, folks, I'm going to suck it up and ship it. Why? Because everything in this giveaway, minus those little dollops that I'm picking up, has been donated from all of my wonderful yarn friends on YouTube. They've donated project bags, they've donated scissors, they've donated yarn. So I'm going to be paying for this to be a worldwide shipping because I didn't have to pay except for the little dollops. So it's coming close, you guys. It's I think I'm at 4,774 the last time I checked. So we're very close to 5,000. That's coming up. So then there's all of this cotton. This is stuffed to the brim. Because if you pull this away, what's underneath here? More cotton. Do you see that, you guys? So that's going to be a lot. 3 giveaway prizes when I reach 5,000. So thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Everybody put a comment. Thanks, Michelle, for donating all this cotton for your giveaway. Thanks, Jane, for donating some project bags. And then a while ago, way a long time ago, y'all, when I was doing Etsy shop reviews, one of those Etsy shops donated a kitty and a puppy bag. And it's just, and there's some little silver bird scissors. So yeah, that's coming up. We're almost there. We're almost to the 5,000 subscriber giveaway worldwide. Well, that's all I got, folks. That's it. That's what I'm working on. Hopefully by the next time we do a video this weekend, I'll have my knit crate finished. And I don't know. Maybe I'll have one amigurumi cow done. That's it. All right. I'll put links in the description to the patterns that I've talked about. And a link in the description to, I'm not quite sure, either to Debbie or to Karen, or maybe I can put a link in the description to their Ravelry page where they're doing their Ravelry crochet along. And that's all. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Thanks for liking and sharing my videos. And until then, happy crafting. Bye.